Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Fair Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Refrino, and joined by me is my co-host tonight, Now Gang Podcast, Mr. Deon Johnson himself. How we doing, man?
It has been a trying and tumultuous day, at work, and then to come home and try to speak some life into our team that is falling apart. It's been a little rough. How about you?
Doing well, man. Had a long day too at work. Barely got home maybe an hour ago. Just getting ready for the game tomorrow. Hoping our team bounces back tomorrow and shows up and shows out and gets a dub finally against a division rival. So let's get right into it, man. So we basically got embarrassed once again by another division rival, the Arizona Cardinals. And once again, the red zone is a problem. What do the Niners have to do to pull out a victory in tomorrow night's game on primetime against the Seattle Seahawks?
They need to get their head out their ass. That's the number one thing. Get your head out of your ass. And here's my thing. I said this before. I'll say it again. And this is one of the things that gets on my nerves about the players. Has nothing to do with Kyle. Why do we always feel we don't need somebody that's a rah-rah kind of guy? Why does every fucking player in that locker room consistently go, yeah, if you need somebody to rile you up, I don't know why you on the team. You obviously need somebody to light a fire under your fucking ass. You guys are playing like shit. Y'all played one half of football versus the Cardinals. One half. The second half, everybody disappeared. Everybody. That first half was spectacular. We had the blocked field goal return for the touchdown with Demo. We had interception by Nick Bosa. We doing all these things, all these beautiful things that are going on in the game. And in the second half, we just said, fuck it. It's too hot. We won't go out there and play. You want to know hot people? Come to Arizona. You'll understand hot. Let me explain something to you. When you live in California, your hot is nowhere near the hot that it is out here. Unless you live in places like Hemet, Hesperia, Bakersfield. Places like that get as hot as it does in Arizona because those are more
Manteca, Fresno.
Yeah, exactly. And that's up north. So It's different because those places are further away from the beaches and they're more inland, so they're not going to get that breeze. But you'll still get a little bit of it. But they just act like they didn't want to play, and it's driving me up the wall because our biggest issue is that damn red zone, and I don't get it. And I'm looking up those stats right now, and I already know what it was in the last game. So I'm trying to see what it is through all of them. And let's see here. There we are on the left. So let's just take a look at it. We are 7 for 18 in the red zone, people.
Jesus.
For the year. 7 of 18. And on what's going on, Manly Shavers? And on top of that, while we're 7 for 18, we were 1 for 6 in this last game. So The key to victory is if you get in the red zone,
Yeah.
how about you actually score?
So let me ask you this, Deon. Do you think the reason why we're having issues in the red zone this season is because Kyle doesn't trust anybody without CMC out there?
1,000%. And I can tell you right now, the minute CMC sees the field, he will get no rest. Kyle is going to run him into the fucking ground. And you know what he's dealing with. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be 2 players that come back after the bye week, maybe 3. One is CMC, the other is Ricky Pearsall.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can tell you right now, we have the Seahawks, and then we got the Chiefs, right? If I'm not mistaken. We all know the Chiefs is an L. We know
Seahawks, Chiefs, Cowboys. Those are our next 3 games.
So here's the thing: we all know the Chiefs is an L. I'm gonna call that already. I have no reason to believe we can beat the Chiefs. Kyle ain't shown me he can beat the Chiefs this whole damn time. I don't think that's about to change. Now, would that be a fantastic moral victory for the team? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We would love for them to go out there and beat the brakes off of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Steve Spagnuolo and Andy Reid. For some reason, they got our number. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the issue that we're facing is, and that's the thing, they'll be rested. You know, the only difference is going against the thing about playing the Chiefs is we'll be rested too because we're playing tomorrow.
Yeah. So here's my thing about the Chiefs though, dude. The Chiefs don't even look that good this season. They're just finding ways to fucking win.
Them along with the refs helping them out. We all know that. There's too many, and people, when we say that, let me explain something to you. As a Chiefs fan, you got to know and understand the truth of this. I'm a Niner fan, but I'm a realistic motherfucker. I'm not about to sit up here and tell you that the Niners are going to the Super Bowl every goddamn year. I'm not like a delusional Cowboys fan and none of that. I am a realistic Niner fan. I know there are some Niner fans that have Cowboy-itis where they continually think that because Kyle is here, we're going to the Super Bowl every year. It does not work like that. Okay?
It took us 4 years to get back.
Yeah, right now we are 2-3. Now I know what happens. Everybody puts up the graphics of when we had slow starts and where we wound up. Here's the issue. When we had those slow starts, we had a solid defense. We had guys that could get the job done. Our D-line is made up right now. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'll take TJ Watt over Nick Bosa.
TJ Watt's been killing it out there all 5 weeks so far.
I can tell you right now, we paid Bosa a lot of fucking money, and I'm not seeing a lot of results. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
As Richard Sherman likes to call him, Nicholas John Bosa has 3 sacks on the year.
Nicholas John Bosa.
And he had 2 in 1 game. So that's not, I mean, it's all right. And it's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? And out there, we got Leonard Floyd. He got 2. Our sack leader right now is Kevin Givens with 3.5.
We're not getting to the quarterback.
We're not getting to the quarterback. Or if we collapse the pocket, we're not collapsing it properly where the quarterback has to stay there.
Right.
We're collapsing it, and there's a lane for that quarterback to move and to run. We all know this team always has had an issue with running quarterbacks forever, and that's not about to change right now. And I know that Saleh is out there. A lot of people, even me, I'm not even going to lie, they're saying go get him. Because Sorensen's inexperienced. And Staley ain't doing nothing but bringing the stench and stank that he had from fucking L.A. Over here with us. And it kills me because the number one thing is you got to be able to think outside the box. So this comes down to Kyle opening the door and saying, hey, we're going to think outside the box. I know I usually don't play rookies, but get them, stay your ass on special teams. Renardo, get in.
Still trying to figure out why that hasn't happened yet.
Because
They just
kills
got
me
done
because
saying that Green was going to start over Yidam, and then Yidam's back out there again last week.
I have no idea, and I don't know what the DB coach is thinking, but you must be blind out of your mind if you do not see that you just need to. What people don't understand is you have to have actual playing time to progress. You cannot at any point in your career ever progress if you don't get on the fucking field. Why do you think Trey Lance has been labeled a bust? Never got on the fucking field.
And then
simple. Don't get on the field. You don't get any playing time. You can never develop. You can't develop mentally in football. If that's the case, if you're developing mentally, be a coach.
Yeah.
That's where mental comes in. If you're a player, you need to play. You need reps. You need live reps. You need those against people that are going to do something. You need them against, a very strong, receiver if you're a DB. You need a good offensive lineman to test you out if you're a good defensive lineman. You need a good tight end to give you that work if you're a linebacker. Adversity makes you better. Pressure makes you better.
Exactly. So the injury report came out basically today, and Hufanga back on IR. Tore some ligaments in the wrist. So he'll be gone a month. Jake Moody will be gone a month with his high ankle sprain. We did sign it.
Did we sign that kicker? I haven't seen shit come across.
We signed give me a second. Tell you his name right now.
Yeah, because I have not seen, I'm sitting there waiting on them to sign a damn kicker because I'm like, we can't try to get your ass out there because that motherfucker ain't going. He could barely kick a fucking extra point.
They signed him yesterday.
And speaking of Mitch, I think what they need to do in the offseason, just because shit like this can happen, you need to teach Mitch to be able to kick from 40 yards in. You're not asking your punter to go out there and kick a 60-yard field goal. That's just dumb. But you need to be able to teach him to kick at least 35 to 40 yards. He should be able to do that.
So we signed Matthew Wright. He was actually on our practice squad back in 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Matthew Wright. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Let's hope this guy can at least kick some extra points.
I heard he's 85% in field goals. So
okay,
I mean, it's better.
We got to take what we can get at this point because we don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But what when it comes down to it, if you have these situations, what you do is you make your punter versatile. Honestly, I would train Mitch with Moody. I would say, hey, your job is punting. That's what you do. We all understand it. We all know it. But in the event we are in a game and Moody goes down, I need to be able to get to 35 yards and you can kick that motherfucker and not have any hesitation. And you can tell that Mitch definitely does not know what the fuck he's doing when he's kicking because you can see he kicks straight legged. And kickers don't kick like that. You're not kicking off of your toes, bruh. You kick off the inside of your foot.
Exactly.
So this is your foot. Mitch is kicking here. Kickers turn their foot and kick in here.
It's because he's so used to doing this.
He's so used to doing that because he punts. And he's so used to trying to get that off the top of his foot in specific positions to be able to get right spin on the ball, try to coffin corner that, whatever the case may be. So I honestly think if you train him for that, in those instances, we don't have that issue because I can tell you right now with all certainty, and this is not a lie, and I'm not making excuses, but we were in field goal range on several of those drives. If Moody doesn't go down, we're kicking field goals at a minimum.
Yeah,
at a minimum, and we win.
One of those.
Why? Because those field goals will matter at the end of the day.
Right. One of those was that 4th and 23 that we could have done the field goal, but we had to we had to go for it because we had no kicker.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, I'm definitely gonna be looking on both sides of the ball though going into this game tomorrow, because I know Moody Ward is questionable, but he has not looked good at all this season. He got his ass beat all game against Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
So
but the
I'll be
funny thing is Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't do much.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers, this motherfucker was almost all but non-existent.
Yeah.
It was the same usual suspects, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the same kid that got us last year out of I think he's from USC, Michael Wilson.
Yeah. Yep.
That same motherfucker.
Yep.
It's simple. Like whenever we go into games, there are people that we have to key in on, and we have to look at, because those are going to be the same guys that are going to cause the problems.
Right.
Got that motherfucker. Sorry, I was trying to get a little gnat, and I had my little zapper.
Oh, okay.
Bastard.
Gotcha.
But like this game coming up against Seahawks, who are we dealing with? The usual suspects: DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Kenneth Walker III.
Yep.
Those are the guys that are going to be making the plays. We all know this. Gino, can he get out and boogie every now and then? Yes, he can. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just a situation of them understanding that you got to key in on those dudes. And to be honest with you, number one thing that is that destroys me about this defense, they refuse to bracket the best receiver. We don't have fast defensive backs. We don't have fast safeties.
No, we don't. We don't.
We don't have dudes that run 4-2 and 4-3 in those positions. Why are you not bracketing the fucking best player?
Yeah.
If I watch it, my thing is, if I'm watching someone struggle, I'm not gonna sit there and just let them keep fucking struggling. I'm switching that shit. If I'm looking at Demo and I'm saying you locking your dude down, but Mooney is tripping, he can't handle this dude. Fuck that Mooney. Swap.
Well, perfect example last week, dude. Jair Brown was telling fucking Mooney Ward shit. And that's a second-year guy telling a veteran something.
And that's the thing. You have to be able to have that as a player. You got to be able to get out there and take command of the huddle. You got to be able to tell people. Everybody has to be able to be held accountable. Nobody can be above approach.
Right.
So Jair Brown out there telling Mooney shit. Good.
Yeah.
In his ass. I will go back to what I said earlier, and Fred was the culprit. He was the one. Oh, if you need like a rah-rah speech, I don't know why you on this team. Somebody needs to do something to you guys, because you know what happens. You don't have that rah-rah speech and you keep fucking up.
Well, all of them too. All of them have been saying like it's been weird this season.
Yeah. And
that's kind of concerning.
Yeah, you know why it's weird? Because you brought in that piece of shit Staley, and then you promoted Sorensen, who has no fucking experience. But you know what that was? Another Kyle control thing. He's in the building. He's seen everything. He knows what he's doing. Bro. Super Bowl window shutting down.
Yeah.
Next year, you got to pay your quarterback. Did you forget that?
Nope.
If you get to the fucking NFC Championship, if you get to the Super Bowl by some freak of nature chance, if you win it, Brock ain't coming in. His agent is going to look at him and go, great job. Sit at home.
So, speaking of Brock Purdy, he had a not
okay
so great game. It was all right. Here's my issue, Deon. We're known to do short passes the past couple years, right? And
Yep.
it always succeeds, and that's why we're always first in the yak, right? Why the fuck are we doing deep passes all of a sudden?
I think Kyle is in his head. He thinks this is Atlanta, and I don't know why. Because we don't have a Julio Jones on this team.
No,
There
we
is
don't.
no Roddy White. We don't have Tevin Coleman. We don't have Devontae Freeman. We got Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk, and Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
Now Mason fumbled, and I was in the chat, earlier when Real Talk Niner Talk was going. Shout out to them.
Yep. Shout out to them.
And they got on me because I said I couldn't really blame Mason for the fumble. At the end of the day, I get it, but it happens to everyone. So for me personally, I don't really blame Mason for that fumble, only because he couldn't see that coming.
Right.
Should he have been probably a little higher and tighter? Yes. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Honestly, if we would have had a kicker, we probably would have won that game. Just based on the fact that we were close enough in the field goal range in several of those. But we trying to get super duper close. Why? Because we know Mitch can't kick for shit. And we don't have the option. But here's my problem. Why we didn't run the ball?
That's why, everything was.
Why do we consistently go away from the run, especially against a team that's giving up nothing but rushing yards? This is what they do. The Cardinals gave up almost 200 yards the week before.
Yep.
So you give up 200 yards in total. You have Jordan Mason. You run Mason down their throats, and then you mix it up and give him a little bit of a banger with Isaac Orendo. Mix this shit up. This is why you can't keep getting this genius tag, Kyle. You can't, because you do shit that makes you look like a dumbass. And I'm gonna have to agree with what they said earlier about Emmanuel Acho. He said something really profound. Shout out to Real Talk Niner Talk. I forget who it was. I think it was Don. It was either Don or Kev. It was one of them. But basically, they were saying what he said was, it seems like Kyle is that head coach where his dad's in the stands and he's trying to impress him. Stop.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
Stop trying to impress your bro. Run. You want to impress your dad? Run the ball. Your daddy did the same thing that you do. He just did it better. He used the run to set up the pass.
Yep.
This is what kind of team we are. We are not a pass first team. We are not.
We're run. We've always been the run.
Calvin can't play because he got a shoulder injury. Ricky's still recovering from getting shot. And you ain't going to see him until after that bye week. I guarantee you they're not putting him in. Yep. After that bye week, they're going to ramp him up and get him going. And after that bye week, they're praying to sweet baby Jesus that CMC is healthy enough and ready to go.
Yep.
So it doesn't make sense. I'm trying to figure out why we keep going away from what's working. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about it. Right now in this season, and I'm looking at the numbers right now, Jordan Mason has 536 yards. That man has 3 touchdowns. He literally has only fumbled twice.
Well, and everything too is
then Jordan Mason is averaging 5.1 yards per carry. I am so sorry. I know Mike watches every game. He does. But hey, what's going on, Tommy? But
Tommy.
At the end of the day, when you look at that, if I have a guy that's averaging 5 yards a carry, why am I going away from him? I'm not going away from that guy. I'm making sure I get that guy the ball as much as I fucking possibly can. You know why? Because the other team obviously can't stop it. Right. Jordan Mason has done that his whole career. How short and how little he's played doesn't matter. The man is averaging 5 yards a carry on any other team. He gets fed. They keep giving him the ball. Right. We played 5 games and the man only has 2 fumbles. Okay. I get it. Everybody fumbles. That's like a receiver dropping a pass. Receivers drop passes.
Well,
And everybody goes, oh, because he fumbles, you can't trust him. That's why Kyle goes away from him.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
you go away from a dude that fumbles, but yet and still you keep bringing in these bum ass offensive linemen because you know them. Come on,
so
Kyle.
what's funny too is I mean CMC fumbled in the Super Bowl and he went away from him also.
Nobody said shit.
Yeah,
Everybody gave him a pass because he's Christian McCaffrey, because he
right.
can catch passes out the backfield, because he can do this, because he can do that. That's fine. But you know what I heard last year? You know what I heard this year? From our very own head coach? We're training the guys behind Christian to do what Christian does. So when Christian is out, we don't skip a beat. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't seem like you're running the same type of
I
shit you
mean,
run with Christian. And you know what
Jordan Reed
everybody's
seems to
going
be
to
doing
say?
it.
Well,
And you're
it's
not doing it.
CMC and he's better than everybody. But if you're telling us that's what you're doing, why isn't that happening? Why don't we see that?
Yeah, I don't understand. And then I mean, perfect example too, man, is the fact that going away from stuff that's working is that what we're talking about. Perfect example is in Sunday's game against the Cardinals. Everything was working in the first half, and then all of a sudden, fucking second half, we were nowhere to be found.
Just
We put up a
disappeared.
goose egg.
We just disappeared, man, and that's the worst. You can't disappear in the game, and you can't play one half. You have to
Right.
play 2 full halves.
And guess what? We're up by 10.
Yep.
And then also on top of that, dude, Nick Bosa calls out the coaching staff.
I mean, there ain't nobody else to call out.
I know.
And at the end of the day, Nick's going to sit there and continue to say what he's going to say. He already see. Here's the difference. Like this is what kills me about our fans. We didn't get mad at Bosa when he held out, almost I believe he was into the season almost. We didn't get mad at him when he held out. You know why? Because Bosa was quiet. It's his nature. It's who he is. He's always quiet.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker, you can barely hear him when he's talking at the podium.
Right.
He's
Right.
so calm. I don't think anything right. Like, it kills me because they say when you talk shit about him, that's when he gets pissed. I'm sorry. As quiet as you are, bro, I wouldn't know if you was upset or not.
Mm-hmm.
Just your demeanor, the way you carry yourself, you don't give that energy off. I can't tell what the fuck is going on. I don't know if you're really upset or if you're just chilling.
I'm okay. So I asked this question on yesterday's show with Beto and Pete, and I also asked this question on our own show on Monday. Richard Sherman's at a 11, basically out of 10 for panic mode. He's basically in panic mode for the Niners. Where are you at, Deon?
Oh, I'm in full panic mode.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's going to go to a fucking 30 if we lose this game tomorrow. See, here's the thing.
This is a
What
must
people
win
don't
game,
get.
right?
This is a must win tomorrow. Why, people? Division games mean a lot at the end of the year when you are trying to get into the playoffs. If it is a situation between us and any of the 3 other teams in our division and we lose tomorrow, we're fucked. You know why? They own the tiebreaker because they beat us first.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to literally have a better record because if we tie with anybody, we have to hope and pray that other things come into play to be able to knock them out.
Right.
Losing divisional games is the worst thing you can do, especially losing the first one.
Dude, we can't go 0-3 in the division. We cannot.
Yeah, if we go 0-3 in the division, it's going to make it even harder for us to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And
at best, wild card.
Yeah,
they don't want wild card.
Yeah, we don't want wild card. You know why? Because that means we have to keep fucking grinding.
Mm-hmm.
And we're playing more than we need to.
Right. So
Minnesota I think Minnesota fucked us over. I'm going to shout out to Brian Flores. He put out the blueprint on how to beat the shit out of Kyle. His defense went to work.
Fuck.
Our offensive, and let me say this. The number one thing I need our defensive line to do, when you don't get home, take a page out of the Cardinals book. What did they do when they didn't get home? They Busta Rhymes that shit. They put your hands where your eyes can see, and they were straight buck wilding in the place to be.
Yep. Oh, speaking of Seahawks fans,
What's
up,
Seahawks
Eddie?
That's my guy. So it's a situation of simple. You don't get home, put your hands up. That touchdown that Kyler Murray was backpedaling and threw, you know how you defend that? Jump, fat ass. It ain't that far to get off the ground. He's short as shit. The man's barely 5'8". Your big ass can't jump and put your hands up and block that? Come on, man. What are we doing? You have options. We don't do well with mobile quarterbacks. We know that. That's been our Achilles heel. That ain't changing shit. But when you come down and you look at it, it's very DK Metcalf talking shit. DK said, look, I done played the Niners all these years, and I've been bothered. I've been upset or I've been scared. Nope, not this time. They're watching their games, watching their defense. Nothing scared. I'm finna go out there and ball. Now, we're on a 2-game losing streak, and so are the Seahawks.
Yep. And if we win, we take first place.
So we want to make sure, at a bare minimum, we get this W just to get in the first place, and that's what it is. Yeah, tell me who is in or out for you, Seahawks? Eddie, put it in the chat, bro. I know you follow your team close enough, but right now, looking at them for receiving, DK Metcalf is their leading receiver with 421 yards. Then you got a nice little drop off to Tyler Lockett. He's down to 274. After that, Smith and Jigba. Who did I tell you about? 257. The only difference is ain't no touchdowns. DK got 2, Smith and Jigba got 1. Okay, so there we go. We got the injury list here. Go ahead, and I can't really read that. It's really hard to see. Okay, there we go. So for the Seahawks, Byron Murphy out. Who is that?
Uchenna
and Woolen. Oh, thank God. That is fantastic. Those are 3 key players for them on defense. We need those dudes out. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take that. Okay, Boye Bonfe. Okay, he'll play. Yeah. Anybody is ever questionable, usually they play. It's always like that. It's up. It's like they're like, oh, he's a game time decision. That motherfucker won't play. That's how it goes. So those are that's for the Seahawks. We already know who's not going for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Brandon said it earlier. You got no Huff, you got no Pearsall, we got no CMC, we have no Jacob Cowing. I think he's still dealing with the shoulder injury. But I think everybody else is good to go.
So I'm gonna put it this.
Go ahead.
I'll put it this way, bro. Right here, I'll show you the Niner injuries right now.
Yep.
We are out. Jordan Elliott is out. DFF out. Huff out. Moody out. Questionable is Conley and then Mooney Ward.
So Mooney, I think, will play. Connolly, that really doesn't matter if he's questionable. No one gives a shit. It's nothing against him personally, but just Chris Connolly, bro. You don't do much. I'm sorry, these motherfuckers just don't do much. Hey, I appreciate that, man. And prayers to your injured players too. I hope they make it back safely, man. I hope they get themselves healthy and y'all continue to keep going. But here's the biggest. That's the biggest thing. It's gonna be the usual suspects. Now with DK Metcalf, you know what you do? Just go old school. Bracket him. Whatever side he is on the field, you let that safety know, hey,
I'll be watching Mooney, bro.
Make sure you over the top because you know that motherfucker fast. And DK ain't fat like you remember the longest yard?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the little crackhead dude when he was doing his recon?
Yeah.
He said that running back they got he fast. He's so fast, he make fast people look slow. That's DK Metcalf, people.
Yeah, it is for sure.
DK held 22 miles a fucking hour for the whole 100 yards. Reek ain't even done that. So I'm trying to tell you, man, like, you got to be ready for dudes. Tyler Lockett can still get busy. You know what I'm saying? if you have Mooney over there, you know what you do? At a bare minimum, let's bring it back. Jam a motherfucker. I miss the days when people used to fuck your shit up at the line.
Right.
Because that extra second and a half that you jam him is an extra second and a half the defensive line has to get home.
Mm-hmm.
Jam the guy. It's not that damn hard. Oh, I got another motherfucker.
And real quick too, the Niners worked out the following players: Adrian Amos, Terrell
Adrian
Burton.
Amos. Yeah, he's a safety. Yeah, he used to be
Yeah.
with Chicago. He's Amos ain't bad. Amos ain't bad.
Yeah, Zach Carter, Jaleel Johnson, and Daryl Worley.
The rest of those guys I'm not familiar with.
Couple
Be
of
honest with you.
basically all DBs, to be honest.
Be honest with you, you know who they should have picked up? I can't remember his name, but he was in Arizona last year and he gave us hell. He was a defensive tackle. White kid. Bad motherfucker. What was his name? Fuck. I think Zach Allen or something like that.
Okay.
And he's somewhere right now wrecking shop. That kid was a monster. And he was a free agent this year. Wouldn't have cost us much.
Nobody picked him up, huh?
Oh, my God. Somebody picked him up, and he's over there balling. I think his name is Zach Allen, if I'm not mistaken. But he was eating us alive. And here's the biggest issue. We need to win this game so bad. But the bad thing is, I think the head coach for the Seahawks now is the same dude that fucked us up last year as a D coordinator. When I think he was the D coordinator for the Ravens.
Okay.
So y'all remember that Ravens game? It was ugly. That's a game we all would love
The Broncos,
to forget.
bro.
Huh?
He's with the Broncos, looks like.
Oh, Allen?
Yeah, Zach Allen?
Yeah, that's him. Yep. So the thing is the 49ers have to get back to playing 49er football by running the ball, controlling the clock,
bully ball.
Use that run to set up the pass, and make sure your play action is working. The other thing I'm gonna say, I gotta say it, Brock, get the ball out of your fucking hands.
Yeah,
I do not. Brock is holding that last game. You know what he reminded me of? That dude,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
That guy. He reminded me. Jimmy used to stand there and pat the ball like he was trying to burp a baby, and he used to drive me insane. I'm starting to see that from Purdy.
But I'm
not saying that Purdy is not good. People don't do that. Don't start going out there. Oh, Deon think Purdy ain't good. He said, I never said to give it. I'm saying I've seen him this season hold the ball longer.
Deon,
now, mind you, our receivers aren't getting necessarily the best separation.
I was just gonna say that they're not getting open.
It's harder for you to be able to just put the ball out there when you don't. Brandon Ayuk had the drops all fucking year until now.
Yeah.
Last game, what do you have? 147, something like that. He was killing it. But what destroyed me is it took you 5 fucking games to find yourself. You know what that tells me? Your ass should have been in camp, and you should have told your agent a little earlier, because we all have it on good authority that $30 million was what they was going to give his ass regardless. And then he comes out on his own and openly states, I made it a little harder at the end. Why were you fucking around? Maybe this will teach you, hey, if I got an offer on the table I know I'm going to take and I can't get any more, let me just get my ass in camp. You need the reps. You need to build that football callus. You need to be able to understand. Why do you think that Jawan Jennings is our leading receiver right now? Why? Because him and Brock have a better connection. Jawan can get open. Jawan's a big body. He can do all of that. You see what I'm saying? Right now, Jawan Jennings, 377 yards. BA is at 314. But the bulk of his 314 came in the last fucking game. And the only people that have touchdowns on our team as receivers are George and Jawan. Debo ain't even got in the end zone as a receiver. That's bad.
So, let me ask you this. So, I'm not going to name names, but some people, other podcasts are saying um, that they're basically blaming a lot of it on Brock Purdy in last week's loss.
Huh?
But personally, I think the O-line wasn't protecting them that well, to be
There were
honest.
times where the O line wasn't protecting him. And what happens is this last game, what I saw from him was holding the ball too long and then standing in the pocket too long. When the pocket collapses, if you still want to throw, move. Don't stand there. Because if you got a guy bull rushing your dude into you and you're standing there trying to deliver a ball, it's easy to knock the ball down. It's easy for the ball for the trajectory of the ball to get knocked off because you have somebody in your face and you don't have the opportunity to plant your feet and throw and do what you need to do. Because what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of people think that throwing comes from just your shoulders. It doesn't. Your lower body got to be right. Your base has to be proper. Your base can literally determine which way the ball goes. If your base ain't correct and you trying to throw a ball deep, that motherfucker gonna flatten out on your ass. So Brock, yes, I do believe that he was part of it. But the other thing is, I will stick to this. Period, point blank. If we had a kicker, we most likely win that game just because we were in field goal position on several of those drives that we didn't get anything.
Yeah,
but we did get the field goals. We had a damn kicker.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And the main issue in this game is going to be stopping those receivers
and stopping
I'm
the
not
run.
necessarily too worried about the run. You know why? Kenneth Walker right now is where's he at? Kenneth Walker. I mean, he's averaging 5.5 yards a carry. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's got 4 TDs. He has no fumbles. But I don't think there's going to be much coming out of Kenneth Walker. You know, I mean, they'll probably go two-headed monster with Walker and Charbonnet. And you got to be real careful with Charbonnet. You fuck around and let that UCLA product get off, you're going to get off in your ass and you're going to regret it.
You're going to find out. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah. You remember that part? You're going to fuck around and you're going to find out.
Find out after.
Yeah. It's this game specifically is very simple. You got to double up on DK Metcalf. Your zone has to be impenetrable. You cannot have soft spots. Your tackling has to be perfect. You can't miss tackles because they have dudes who can get busy. Tyler Lockett may be a little older. He's still not slow, people. Deshaun Jackson older, but I guarantee you if some team signed him right now, you still got to worry about him getting over the top. He still got that speed. DK Metcalf is very young. That speed has not gone anywhere. Jackson Smith and Jigba, very fast. Kenneth Walker, if he gets past you, goodbye. These are all players that have speed that we don't on defense. So we have to be disciplined. We've got to stay in our gaps. We've got to make sure that we're hitting these dudes and punching them in the mouth. We
can't letting off the gas.
Go low. You know what I'm saying? We can't always go low and do all that shit because you'll see a player that doesn't want to tackle a dude. Sometimes you got to go up top with a motherfucking body.
Right. And we gotta go all gas, no brakes, bro. Like we
really do. We have to bring that back. We need to make Geno Smith's life a living hell. If Geno got too much time in that pocket, he can find somebody. You know why? Because the difference is when you keep giving the quarterback enough time, the receivers are smart enough to find a way to get open. You do not want to have to cover a dude for fucking 8-9 seconds. That is the worst as a DB. You do not want to have to keep running around with that motherfucker. You're going to get tired. Or you're going to get lackadaisical in your coverage because you're going to expect your line to finish the job and get home.
Right.
And if they don't and you're not paying attention, that's when dude going up over the top and you sitting there looking like, fuck.
Yeah.
So for this game, Brock Purdy, Get the ball out, man. Just get the ball out. If the pocket collapses, get the fuck.
If you can't find an open receiver, throw it out. Throw it out of bounds.
Yeah. It's not. It's okay
You don't
every
need to
now and
look
then
pretty.
throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
It's all right. It happens.
You don't need to play hero ball. You don't need to.
Exactly. Thank you. I like that Tom Brady was doing our broadcast because Brady was out there just spitting nothing but game. I can tell you right now, it's always great when you have a former player doing a broadcast because they played. They know what it's really about. It's not just speculation. They're not taught. They're speaking from experience, so you respect it more. I don't like Tony Romo as a football player, but he's pretty fucking smart as a commentator. Not too bad. Sherm, great as a commentator. Even though he doesn't commentate and he does like TV shows and he does his podcast. But I'm saying those dudes you can respect because they played the game.
Well, we're going to hear from Sherm tomorrow, too, in the pregame and halftime and postgame. So we're gonna be, it's going to be interesting to see.
We got to go out there and play 4 minutes of being four quarters of football. We cannot go out there and be ballers in the first half and not show up in the second half. Or even vice versa. You don't want to be worthless in the first half and don't show up in the second half.
Right. All right. We're going to wrap it up here soon. So next thing is, who's going to be your X factor for this game, man? Who are you looking out for to stand out and hopefully like lead the team into basically winning the game?
Jordan Mason.
Okay.
I need Jordan Mason to get fed. Feed him. Run that ball down their throats. Take as much time off the clock as you can. Don't give Geno any time. Don't open the door for Geno Smith to have time to be able to find a way to win this game. Make sure that you are throwing the ball to the open receiver and you're getting that ball out as quick as you possibly can. Receivers, separate. Please, for the life of me, separate.
Yeah, for real.
Whatever you can get away with as an offensive receiver, get away with it. If you can push a dude off a little bit and get away with it, do it. Whatever the hell you got to do that you can get away with as a receiver to create separation, make it fucking happen.
Right.
I'm not saying play dirty. I'm just saying play within the means of the game. Every play has a penalty on it. Every single play. There's not a play that is penalty free. Someone's holding. Someone technically is doing pass interference. Someone is too far down. Like, not everything can be caught. It's just not humanly possible. The only thing that we as fans hate the refs for is when they miss blatant shit when they looking dead at it.
Ain't that the damn truth?
So every play has some kind of penalty, most likely. You could find a penalty on any play you look at. But at the end of the day, we need to go out there, run the ball down their throats, use the run to set up the pass, and get back to doing the things that we need to do. On defense, stop these receivers. I'm not so much worried about the run. I am more worried about these receivers.
And tackle.
Still have all three of those dudes. Tackle. Wrap up.
We have so many missed tackles. It's crazy.
And anytime you got anybody in pass coverage, for the life of me, get Devondre Campbell off the fucking field and put D. Winters in. He is a liability in pass coverage. I have no idea why Sorensen leaves him out there when he knows it's going to be a pass. Put D. Winters in because at least he can cover sideline to sideline.
Have him start. Like, fuck. D. Winters was looking way better out there than Campbell was.
And he's got way more speed than he does.
Right.
So you start him, you sit Isaac Yiadom or put him on special teams, let Bernardo Green get some playing time, and you put Demo and Mooney on the outside. And you keep your safeties in this game. Your safety should not drop. You should never have a single high safety. You need two high at all times. Why? You have guys that can get back. If they get behind you, they're gone. You're not catching them. Defensively, you must tackle properly. We must not allow these receivers to get off in us. We have to stop them at the point of attack. So those three dudes, everybody I just named are the usual suspects. Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith and Jigba, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett.
Okay, real quick. You probably agree with me on this.
Hmm?
Start off the game running the fucking ball.
Run
with
it.
Jordan Mason.
Thank you. Run the
Why
ball.
I'm just trying to. I'm
Just
truly.
run the ball. That's
I'm
all you got to do.
I'm truly trying to figure out why the fuck we started in the backfield with Debo when we started the game last week.
Here's the problem with Debo in the backfield. They know it's going to be a run.
Mm-hmm.
They know this. Why are you not play actioning off of this? You know they load the box because the minute they see Debo, what is it? A run. Every fucking time. And Kyle does not go away from that. Like, use your brain, man. At a bare
It's
fucking
crazy,
minimum.
man. That's crazy.
Like, how do you consistently see that they know what you're about to do, yet and still you just go, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't care.
Dude.
Okay, so this loss, I'm gonna make a point real quick. This loss to the Giants, they gave up a total of 175 yards rushing.
Damn.
Tyrone Tracy Jr. had 129. That man was averaging 7.2 yards per carry. Bodes well for Jordan. Bodes very well for Jordan. Let me see what happened in the Lions game, because Lions, they got the brakes beat off of them. Let me see what that rushing was about. Okay, Detroit only had about 116. And it was 78 from Jahmyr Gibbs, 40 from David Montgomery. So that wasn't too bad. But if you see that they're giving that up, take it. Go get it. Get back to 49er football. 49er football has always been, since Kyle got here, use the run to set up the pass.
Yep, exactly.
And when you know they can't stop something, don't go away from it. If you get in the game tomorrow night and you're throwing and they can't stop it, fuck it. Keep throwing the ball. But if you get in the game tomorrow night and you see that they're stopping your pass, run the ball. That's what this line is better at anyway. They're way better at run pro than pass pro.
Mm-hmm.
We all know Colton McKivitz is a goddamn liability. We all know Jake Brendle's a liability.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Aaron Banks and what he brings to the table, but at the end of the day, he's only that good because he's standing next to the silverback.
Right.
I don't know what he looks like without. So these are the things that we need to do. Run the ball. Pass when you need to. Play action. Defensively. Stay with the too high safety. Bracket DK Metcalf. These are simple things. And for the life of me, I don't care what Fred Warner said. Somebody get off in that team's ass in that locker room. Let them know you're tired of this shit. If there's one thing that I love, it's a player with passion and a real love for the game. You know why I respect Buda Baker? Because he embodies both of those things. Buda Baker was on Hard Knocks crying. I'm tired of losing. This shit gets old, man. What the fuck? Buda been wanting out. Why? He's tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
Any player that has a real love for the game and really wants to win a championship does not want to be on a losing team.
Right.
They will sacrifice money to get that fucking ring.
Yeah, it's true. It's completely true.
I'll give you a prime example. Steven Jackson. Remember him?
Yep.
Monster when he was with St. Louis. When he left St. Louis, he put that man on national television, and he had the nerve to say, I left because I got tired of losing. You left because the money ran out, my nigga. That's what you did. They weren't going to pay you no more. They ran all the tread off your tires. At this point, you are down to wires and cloth. You're sparking on the road. Means you need a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to Atlanta talking about I want to win. Atlanta wasn't doing shit. Atlanta ain't been relevant since Michael Vick.
It's true.
And there's nothing against the Falcons, but these are just the facts. Okay? So You want a player to get off in their ass in that locker room that says we cannot keep doing this shit. But it drives me insane because all we have is Trent, big silverback, quiet motherfucker. All we have is Nick, big massive defensive end, quiet motherfucker. All we have is Brandon Ayuk, quiet motherfucker. Fred, we don't need no rah-rah. I'm sorry. You know what I'm going to call on? Dre Greenlaw. You break the linebackers down every game. You got a lot of energy when you break them down. Rip this team a new one. Let them know I'm sorry I'm not out there. I'm working hard to get back. But good goddamn, y'all got to pick this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just keep going game after game saying, oh, we don't need anybody to yell at us or say anything because we already know what we need to do. Obviously, you fucking don't because you keep losing.
Right.
If you knew what the fuck you was doing, you wouldn't have that problem. It's just like a couple years ago when y'all said that same fuck shit. And then Jimmy Ward went in there and ripped everybody a brand new asshole. And what the fuck happened? Y'all came out and played a hell of a game, didn't you? You figured it the fuck out. You need a rah-rah guy. You need that dude who's got a passion and a love for the game that does not like losing, that hates it with a passion and wants you guys to get up and get the fuck off your ass and figure out a way to get this damn W. If the 49ers lose tomorrow, you can almost kiss this season goodbye.
That's crazy, dude.
That's sad. And the reason being is not because we can't win the games the rest of the year. The problem is you lose tomorrow, the chances of us beating the Chiefs are like 95-5 in favor of the Chiefs winning. Because we still haven't beat them. Whether it be in the Super Bowl or regular season. So you go on a 4-game losing streak, then you walk into the Cowboys. What? So all of these things need to come into play. We need to go out here tomorrow and punch Seattle in the mouth as hard as we fucking can. We need to go in there swinging for the fences.
Yeah, we do, for sure.
We need to go in there with a Mike Tyson mentality. I don't swing for no reason. My punches are calculated. And when they land, I want them to hurt. So to Fred, to Dre, to Debo, to BA, to Bosa, to Collins, all of our defenders, all of our offensive players, get out there and fight. Fight for everything you got. Kyle, please run the ball. It's not that hard. Run the ball. Take time off the clock. We outpossessed them in time of possession and still lost.
Yep. We still
do things. Yeah, I know. No, I agree with you. Throwback Mooney has been asked, and he better pick it up because DK Metcalf is laughing at us. He can give two fucks. He is very open about saying, "I ain't worried about nothing."
Yeah.
But those are the keys to the game. Make sure that you do your best to shut down those receivers. Hell, jam them at the line. Interrupt their routes as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you got to do running up the sideline, the simplest thing to do is to make just a small hint of contact with your hip. Just a little bit. Because the minute that man steps out of bounds, if he catches that pass, it's illegal touching. You went out of bounds first. You can't touch the ball. You can't be the first to receive the ball. That's what happened with Juwan a couple weeks ago. Everybody was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, he was out of bounds. Can't come back in bounds and then be the first guy you throw to. Brock should have known that. But I think he was like, damn, somebody's finally open. I got to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So those are the keys to the game, people. We got to go in here and get this win against Seattle. There is no choice.
Sir.
We have no options. And I just hope that they make things happen, in the right way, and we get shit rolling. And this is the start of a win streak, because to be honest with you, out of these next few games, if we can win this one, if we can beat the Chiefs, that's a moral victory that we need because we've never been able to do it since they've been here.
Dude,
is a this game tomorrow's a must win, but beating the Chiefs is a serious must win.
If we beat the Chiefs, that should give them even more confidence for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah. Oh, and man, if you're watching this, 5-0 up on that ass. Because they beat the brakes
now
off.
You want to talk.
They got us. No, they beat the brakes off of us. They got us, what was it, 10-2? That was the last game?
And then yesterday was 6-5.
Yeah. So we up now. We up 5-0, baby. You know what I'm saying? My Dodgers is going to do some shit. We're going to be okay, man. We're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to worry about it. Y'all got your little 2-1 lead. That ain't shit. We still coming for you, motherfuckers.
I'm so done with you, dude.
Don't think my Dodgers ain't coming up getting there. You know, fuck the Mets, even though they got into the NLCS. You know, I don't like the Mets. I don't like the Mets. I don't like the fucking Yankees. None of that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing against New York as a town, but I've always hated the Yankees. Never liked them.
That's
hate
Christian's
the
team.
Stripes. Hate the fact that you don't have a name on the back of your jersey. Hate the fact that you make everybody shave their face. All this blue collar, clean cut shit. Shut the fuck up. You guys ain't blue collar. You ain't clean cut. You motherfuckers have ties to the mob. Y'all got some stains on your franchise. Don't get it twisted. Y'all have some great players. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get out of here, man.
I'm so done with you.
Take us out. Y'all know where to find me,
All right.
Brandon. CB Dubs, and you know me. You see what I got under that 90 Game podcast. That will remain until that bastard brings me a championship. And when he does, I'll remove that. But until he does, I'm not.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Hope you guys enjoy the game tomorrow. Hopefully we come out with a dub. You'll see us back here for a post-game show either tomorrow night or Friday or Saturday. Doesn't matter. Whatever. We'll talk to the guys and let you guys know on Twitter. But until next time, guys, go Niners.
Go Niners.
Deuces.